In the last episode, my team and I had just received a cryptic message from Dr. Zara, leading us to the abandoned research facility on Nexar, where the last remnants of the ancient civilization's powerful technology were said to lie. We had been navigating through the galaxy, evading Archon's forces and trying to stay one step ahead of our pursuers. The stars streaked by like diamonds on black velvet as our ship, the Aurora, shuddered and lurched through the turbulent atmosphere of Kalen's moon. I've been having these dreams, fragmented images of a life left behind, of people I've lost. The weight of leadership bears down on me, threatening to crush me beneath its unforgiving weight. "Elara, can you patch me through to the team?" I asked, my voice firm but laced with a hint of urgency. Dr. Elara's hands flew across her console, and a holographic display flickered to life, projecting the faces of my team members. Lyrian's piercing gaze met mine, his eyes clouded with a mixture of wariness and unresolved tension. "All right, listen up," I began, my voice steady. "We've got a new destination, Nexar." Dr. Zara's message indicated that the research facility there holds the key to our next move. Lyrian's expression turned skeptical. "You trust this Zara character?" I hesitated, unsure how much to reveal. "Not entirely, but I believe she's our best lead. Elara, can you plot the course?" As the stars blurred and reformed around us, I felt a shiver run down my spine. We were walking into the unknown with only our wits and a cryptic message to guide us. The silence was oppressive, punctuated only by the soft beeps and hums of the ship's systems. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being herded towards some unknown fate. "Elara, what's our ETA to Nexar?" I asked, my eyes fixed on the navigation display. "Approximately 6 hours, Captain," she replied, her voice smooth. 6 hours. Plenty of time for things to go wrong. The darkness outside seemed to press in, a reminder that in this galaxy hope was a fragile thing, easily extinguished. And then, without warning, the ship shuddered violently, throwing us off balance. "Report," I barked, grabbing hold of the armrests. "Unknown energy signature ahead, Captain," Elara warned, her fingers flying across her console. It's like nothing I've seen before." The ship bucked again, and I felt my stomach drop. This was it. Our journey into the heart of the unknown had just taken a deadly turn. As the ship plunged toward the surface of Nexar, I steeled myself for what lay ahead, unsure if we'd emerge unscathed, but certain that our fate was inextricably linked to the secrets hidden on this forsaken world previously. Alex's team, led by the enigmatic Dr. Zara's cryptic transmission, embarked on a perilous journey to claim the long-abandoned research facility on Nexar, pursued by Archon's elite forces and confronted by the conflicted ally Lyrian. As they navigated the treacherous galaxy, they stumbled upon an ancient temple on the planet Zaridia, unlocking a hidden pathway to the fabled Nexar facility. The darkness outside seemed to press in, a reminder that in this galaxy, hope was a fragile thing, easily extinguished. And then, without warning, the ship shuddered violently, throwing us off balance. The unknown energy signature ahead was like nothing we'd seen before. As we plummeted toward the surface of Nexar, the ship's alarms blared in my ears and the cries of my teammates echoed through the chaos. I gripped the armrests, my knuckles white, bracing for impact. The last thing I saw was Lyrian's haunted gaze, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and resignation. The crash landing sent us tumbling through the wreckage-strewn landscape of Nexar, the impact throwing us against the restraints. My head spun as the ship's systems died, plunging us into darkness. Slowly I came to, assessing the damage. Lyrian was shaken but alive, while Elara groggily stirred, her console shattered and smoking. The fate of the others remained uncertain. "We need to move now," I growled, my voice rough from the adrenaline coursing through my veins. "We can't stay here." The harsh, crimson-hued landscape of Nexar stretched out before us, devoid of life or shelter. Our only hope lay in reaching Dr. Zara's research facility if it still stood. As we stumbled out of the wreckage, the silence was oppressive, punctuated only by the creaking of twisted metal and the distant rumble of Nexar's hostile storms. "We'll need to scavenge what we can from the Aurora," Alara said, her eyes scanning the wreckage. "Communication devices, medkits, anything to help us survive." I nodded, my mind racing with the possibilities. "Lyrian, can you track our surroundings, see if we're close to the facility?" Lyrian nodded, his eyes narrowing as he surveyed the desolate landscape. "I think I can get a bearing, but we need to move fast. Archon's forces won't be far behind." As we ventured into the unknown, the air grew thick with an otherworldly energy. I could feel it like a pulsing heartbeat drawing us toward the research facility. My dreams, the fragmented images, began to make sense. This was where the ancient civilization's power lay. We pressed on, our footsteps echoing across the barren wasteland as the shadows of Nexar closed in around us. The unknown energy signature loomed ahead, beckoning us toward destiny or destruction previously. Alex's team crash-landed on Nexar, narrowly escaping destruction, and now they must navigate the treacherous landscape to reach Dr. Zara's research facility, haunted by the unknown energy signature and pursued by Archon's forces. As we trudged through the crimson-hued wasteland, the energy signature grew stronger, its pulsing rhythm synchronizing with my own heartbeat. It was as if the planet itself was alive, guiding us toward the secrets hidden within the facility. Suddenly, the air crackled with electricity, and a blinding flash illuminated the darkening sky. When my vision cleared, a colossal structure emerged from the haze, its crystalline spires piercing the heavens like shards of divine intent. The research facility loomed before us, its gates wide open, beckoning us toward the heart of the ancient civilization's power. "By the cosmos," Alara breathed, her eyes wide with wonder. "This is it. This is the gateway to our salvation." With caution, we approached the entrance, our senses on high alert for any signs of traps or ambushes. Lyrian's eyes darted between the towering structures, his hand resting on the hilt of his sword, ready for battle. As we stepped inside, the facility's darkness enveloped us, its silence oppressive. The air was heavy with the scent of decay and neglect, a testament to the abandonment that had ravaged this once great hub of knowledge. "Echo," I called out, my voice echoing off the walls. "Are you still with us?" A faint, ethereal glow flickered to life, and the AI's melodious voice replied, "I am here, Alex. Dr. Zara's data crystal has granted me access to the facility's systems. I can guide you through the labyrinthine corridors, but be warned, the path ahead will be treacherous." With Echo's guidance, we navigated the treacherous maze, avoiding deadly traps and rival treasure hunters. The ancient blueprints revealed secrets of the planet-scale device, and I began to grasp the true extent of the ancient civilization's power. But as we delved deeper into the facility, the shadows seemed to grow longer, darker. I sensed a presence watching us, a malevolent force that did not want us to succeed. The prophecy, the destiny that hung in the balance, weighed heavier with every step. Suddenly, a cold, calculating voice spoke from the shadows. "You should not have come here, Alex. You will never leave this place alive." A figure emerged from the darkness, its features obscured by a hooded cloak. My heart raced as I realized that we were not alone on Nexar. Archon's agents had beaten us to the facility, and now they would stop at nothing to claim the ancient power for themselves. "Get behind me," I growled, my hand instinctively reaching for the hilt of my sword. "We'll face them together as a team." Lyrian and Alara moved to flank me, their eyes locked on the unknown foe. We stood united, ready to face whatever lay ahead, as the fate of the galaxy hung precariously in the balance previously. Alex's team crash-landed on Nexar, narrowly escaping destruction, and now they must navigate the treacherous landscape to reach Dr. Zara's research facility, haunted by the unknown energy signature and pursued by Archon's forces. As they entered the facility, they discovered Dr. Zara's cryptic message and Echo, the AI entity, who became an unlikely ally in their quest. The hooded figure stepped forward, its movements eerily fluid. "You are no match for the forces that have driven the galaxy to the brink of collapse," It sneered. "Your determination is admirable but ultimately futile." I drew my sword, its familiar weight a comforting sensation. "Well, see about that." With a flick of my wrist, I ignited the blade, casting flickering shadows on the walls. The agent's gaze locked onto mine, its eyes blazing with an unnatural intensity. "You are not the first to dare challenge us. You will not be the last to fall." As we faced off, the facility's darkness seemed to coalesce around us, the shadows deepening into an abyss of uncertainty. Lyrian and Alara stood firm, their shoulders squared, ready to take on whatever lay ahead. Echo's gentle voice whispered in my ear, "Alex, I've accessed the facility's security systems. I can unlock a shortcut to the central core, but it will require precise timing and coordination." I nodded imperceptibly, my focus fixed on the agent. "Now, Echo." The walls around us erupted into a frenzy of sparks and flashing lights as Echo triggered a series of hidden mechanisms. The agent lurched backward, momentarily blinded as we seized the opportunity to strike. With Lyrian and Alara covering my flanks, we charged forward, our blades slicing through the air in deadly arcs. The agent recovered quickly, its movements a blur of steel and shadow. We clashed, our blades meeting in a shower of sparks, the outcome hanging in the balance. As we fought, the facility's ancient machinery roared to life, its pulsing rhythm synchronizing with my heartbeat once more. I sensed the device's power calling to me, urging me to unlock its secrets. In the heat of battle, I noticed a subtle shift in Lyrian's stance, a hesitation that hinted at his conflicted past. Alara, too, seemed to be holding back, her strikes less precise than usual. I realized that our unity was fragile, threatened by the secrets we kept from each other. The agent landed a lucky blow, sending me crashing to the floor. As I struggled to rise, I saw Lyrian and Alara falter, their blades wavering. The agent's gaze locked onto mine, its eyes burning with an unholy intensity. In that moment, I knew that our only hope lay in confronting the demons that haunted us. I reached out, my hand closing around Lyrian's wrist. "Trust me," I whispered. "Together we can overcome this." Lyrian's gaze flickered, his eyes searching mine. Then, with a subtle nod, he stood taller, his blade flashing in the dim light. Alara, too, seemed to find her footing, her strikes growing more precise. United, we pushed back against the agent's onslaught, our blades moving in tandem as we fought to claim the device that would decide the galaxy's fate. But as we battled on, I knew that our greatest challenge lay not in defeating our enemies, but in confronting the shadows within ourselves previously. Alex's team crash-landed on Nexar, navigating the treacherous landscape to reach Dr. Zara's research facility, where they discovered her cryptic message and Echo, the AI entity, who became an unlikely ally in their quest. Now, they must face off against Archon's elite forces and their own personal demons to unlock the secrets of the ancient device. As we fought, the facility's machinery pulsed around us, its rhythm synchronized with my heartbeat. I sensed the device's power calling to me, urging me to unlock its secrets. Lyrian and Alara stood firm, their blades flashing in the dim light. The agent's movements were a blur of steel and shadow, but I knew we couldn't hold out for much longer. Suddenly, Echo's voice whispered in my ear, "Alex, I've accessed the central core's mainframe. I can initiate the device's activation sequence, but it will require a massive energy surge. We need to clear the area and create a containment field to prevent the energy from spiraling out of control." I nodded, my eyes locked on the agent. "Do it, Echo." The air around us seemed to vibrate as Echo triggered the sequence. The agent stumbled backward, its movements slowing. Lyrian and Alara took advantage of the reprieve, striking back with renewed ferocity. I joined the fray, our blades moving in sync as we fought to create a window of opportunity. The device began to hum, its power coursing through the facility like a living entity. The air crackled with energy, and I felt the familiar weight of destiny settling onto my shoulders. This was our one chance to reboot the galaxy's failing ecosystem. But as the energy surged, the shadows within us threatened to consume us. Lyrian's hesitation returned, his strikes faltering. Alara's eyes clouded, her movements slowing. I reached out, my hands closing around their wrists. "Trust me," I whispered. "Together we can overcome this." In that moment our bond was forged anew. United, we channeled the energy, our blades shining like beacons as we contained the device's power within the facility. The agent, forgotten in the chaos, stumbled backward, its form dissolving into nothingness. As the energy peaked, the device roared to life, its ancient machinery pulsating with a rhythm that echoed across the galaxy. I felt the weight of the prophecy settle onto my shoulders, the burden of leadership and the ghosts of my past fading into the background. With the device activated, the galaxy's ecosystem began to heal, the planets slowly reviving like a phoenix from the ashes. The scattered remnants of the galaxy, sensing the shift in the balance of power, began to stir, their eyes turning toward the beacon of hope that we had become. But as the device's power ebbed, a new threat emerged from the shadows. A hooded figure, its movements eerily fluid, stepped forward, its eyes blazing with an unnatural intensity. "You may have rebooted the galaxy," it sneered, "but you have also awakened the true architects of the ancient civilization, the beings who will stop at nothing to reclaim their lost empire." The figure vanished as suddenly as it appeared, leaving us staring into the unknown, the stakes escalating once more as we faced a new, ancient enemy, and the prophecy unfolding before us like a canvas of endless possibilities previously. Alex's team had successfully activated the ancient device on Nexar, rebooting the galaxy's failing ecosystem. But their triumph was short-lived, as a mysterious hooded figure emerged, warning them that they had awakened the true architects of the ancient civilization, beings who would stop at nothing to reclaim their lost empire. As the figure's words still lingered in the air, the facility's lights flickered, and a low hum filled the chamber. Echo's voice whispered urgently in my ear, "Alex, I'm detecting an energy signature unlike anything I've seen before. It's ancient and it's heading straight for us." I turned to my team, my eyes locking onto Lyrian and Alara. "We need to move now. This facility won't hold against whatever is coming our way." Without hesitation, we sprinted through the labyrinthine corridors, the hum growing louder with each step. We burst out of the facility into the harsh, rocky landscape of Nexar, just as a massive, cylindrical ship descended from the sky, its hull emblazoned with ancient symbols that seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. "By the stars," Lyrian breathed, his eyes fixed on the ship. "What have we awakened?" As we watched, a swarm of smaller vessels emerged from the mothership, swooping down to encircle us. I felt the weight of the prophecy bearing down on me, the burden of leadership more crushing than ever. "We need to get out of here now," Alara urged, her eyes darting between the ships and the surrounding terrain. But I knew we couldn't outrun this enemy. I had to face them head-on, just as I had faced my own demons. I turned to my team, my voice steady. "Well, take them down together. Echo, can you hack into their systems?" "Already on it, Alex," the AI entity replied, her digital presence a beacon of hope in the face of overwhelming odds. With a fierce cry, we charged forward, our blades flashing in the dim light, as the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance previously. Alex's team had successfully rebooted the galaxy's ecosystem using an ancient device on Nexar, but their victory was short-lived, as a mysterious figure warned them that they had awakened the true architects of the ancient civilization, who would stop at nothing to reclaim their lost empire. Now, as an ancient cylindrical ship and its swarm of vessels encircle them, Alex and his team prepare for a desperate battle to survive. As I gazed up at the ominous ship, its pulsing symbols seeming to sear themselves into my mind, I felt the weight of the prophecy crushing me. I was supposed to be the hero, the one who would bring peace and unity to the galaxy. But in this moment, I felt like a mere mortal staring into the abyss. "Echo, how's the hacking coming?" I called out, trying to keep my voice steady. "I'm in, Alex," she replied, her digital voice a reassuring presence. "But their systems are unlike anything I've seen." It'll take me a few more seconds to crack the encryption. A blast of energy struck the ground mere meters from us, sending rocks and debris flying in all directions. Lyrian's blade flashed in the dim light, deflecting a hail of laser bolts that would have incinerated us. "Time's running out, Alex," Alara yelled, her eyes locked on the vessels closing in around us. With a deep breath, I raised my own blade, its familiar weight a comfort in the face of uncertainty. "Let's buy Echo some time. Lyrian, take point. Alara, cover our flanks. We'll push forward together." The battle raged on, our blades flashing in the flickering light of the ancient ship's energy blasts. I could feel the adrenaline coursing through my veins, the familiar rush of combat numbing my doubts and fears. But deep down, I knew this was just the beginning. We were facing an enemy unlike any we'd ever seen, one that would stop at nothing to reclaim their empire. As the fight wore on, I began to notice a strange phenomenon. The ancient ship's energy blasts seemed to be having an unusual effect on the surrounding environment. The rocky terrain was shifting, as if the very fabric of reality was beginning to unravel. "Echo, what's going on?" I shouted, dodging a blast that would have incinerated me. "I'm detecting a localized distortion field, Alex," she replied, her voice laced with urgency. "Whatever technology they're using, it's having a catastrophic impact on the space-time continuum. If we don't find a way to shut it down, the entire galaxy could be torn apart." The stakes had never been higher. I knew that if we failed, the prophecy would be nothing more than a distant memory, a fleeting glimpse of a future that could never be. But I also knew that I had no choice. I had to confront this enemy, no matter the cost. With a fierce cry, I charged forward, my blade flashing in the dim light as the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. The battle was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning previously. Alex's team had rebooted the galaxy's ecosystem, but their victory was short-lived as they awakened the true architects of the ancient civilization, who would stop at nothing to reclaim their lost empire. As I plunged deeper into the heart of the ancient ship, the distortion field growing stronger with every step, I felt the weight of the prophecy crushing me. The fate of the galaxy depended on my ability to harness the power of the ancient technology, but at what cost? "Echo, can you hack into their systems and disable the distortion field?" I shouted above the din of battle. "I'm trying, Alex, but their encryption is unlike anything I've seen," she replied, her digital voice strained. "I need more time." Suddenly, a burst of energy struck me, sending me flying across the deck. As I struggled to regain my footing, I saw Lyrian and Alara fighting off a swarm of enemy vessels, their blades flashing in the dim light. "Alex, we need to get out of here now," Lyrian yelled, his voice hoarse from the intensity of the battle. "Not yet," I shouted back, my vision blurring at the edges. "We still need to disable that distortion field." But it was too late. The ancient ship's energy blasts had reached a critical threshold, and the fabric of reality was beginning to unravel. I felt the distortion field building to a catastrophic crescendo, and I knew that I was running out of time. In desperation, I reached out to the ancient technology, feeling its primal power coursing through my veins. The prophecy echoed in my mind, guiding me to the heart of the ship. With a scream of rage and determination, I unleashed a blast of energy that shattered the ancient ship's hull, ripping apart the distortion field and sending the enemy vessels careening out of control. As the battle raged on, I fought my way through the wreckage, my blade flashing in the flickering light of the ancient ship's energy blasts. I knew that I had to find the heart of the ship, the source of its power, and harness it to restore balance to the galaxy. The battle was far from over, but I was determined to emerge victorious. For the sake of the galaxy, I would stop at nothing to claim the ancient technology and forge a brighter future. But as I reached the heart of the ship, I found myself face to face with an unexpected ally, Dr. Zara, who had somehow managed to escape Archon's agents and infiltrate the ancient ship. "Alex, I've been waiting for you," she said, her eyes gleaming with a fierce intensity. "Together, we can harness the power of the ancient technology and bring peace to the galaxy." I hesitated, unsure of what to do. Could I trust Dr. Zara, or was she playing a deeper game? As I looked into her eyes, I saw a glimmer of hope, a chance to redeem the past and forge a brighter future. With a deep breath, I made my decision. Let's do it, Dr. Zara. Together, we'll change the course of history. And with that, our fate was sealed. The battle for the galaxy had reached its climax, and the outcome would depend on our ability to harness the power of the ancient technology previously. Alex and his team had rebooted the galaxy's ecosystem, but their victory was short-lived as they awakened the true architects of the ancient civilization, who would stop at nothing to reclaim their lost empire. With the ancient ship's distortion field threatening to destroy the fabric of reality, Alex and Dr. Zara formed an uneasy alliance to harness the power of the ancient technology and bring peace to the galaxy. As Dr. Zara and I ventured deeper into the heart of the ancient ship, the air thickened with anticipation. The hum of the ship's energy core pulsed through my veins, drawing me closer to the source of its power. I could feel the weight of the prophecy bearing down on me, the fate of the galaxy hanging precariously in the balance. "This way, Alex," Dr. Zara whispered, her eyes fixed on a shimmering portal ahead. "The heart of the ship lies beyond that gateway. But be warned, the ancient architects have set a trap for us. We'll need to move quickly and stay alert." I nodded, my grip on my blade tightening as we stepped through the portal. The air on the other side was thick with the stench of burning circuits and ozone. The walls of the chamber were lined with ancient consoles, their screens flickering with cryptic codes and warnings. "Echo, can you decipher the codes?" I called out, my voice echoing off the walls. "I'm on it, Alex," she replied, her digital voice crackling with static, "but I need a few more seconds to crack the encryption." Suddenly, the consoles burst into life, spewing forth a torrent of energy that sent Dr. Zara and me flying across the room. I struggled to regain my footing, my vision blurring as the chamber began to spin around me. "Dr. Zara, are you okay?" I shouted, my voice hoarse from the intensity of the battle. Fine," she gasped, her face slick with sweat. "But we need to get out of here now. The ancient architects are adapting to our presence. They'll crush us if we don't find a way to harness the power of the ship." I nodded, my mind racing with the implications. The ancient ship was alive and it was fighting back. I knew that I had to find a way to tap into its power, to bend it to my will and restore balance to the galaxy. With a surge of determination, I charged forward, my blade flashing in the flickering light of the consoles. Dr. Zara followed close behind, her eyes fixed on the heart of the ship. As we reached the center of the chamber, I saw it, a glowing crystal of pure energy, pulsing with the power of the ancient civilization. I felt its power calling to me, urging me to take the next step. "This is it," Dr. Zara whispered, her voice barely audible over the din of the battle. "Take the crystal, Alex. Harness its power and forge a brighter future for the galaxy." I hesitated, my hand trembling with uncertainty. Could I truly wield the power of the ancient technology, or would it consume me? As I looked into Dr. Zara's eyes, I saw a glimmer of hope, a chance to redeem the past and forge a brighter future. With a deep breath, I reached out and claimed the crystal. Its power coursed through me, a torrent of energy that threatened to overwhelm me. I felt the prophecy unfolding, guiding me towards a destiny that would change the course of history. And as I stood there, bathed in the radiant glow of the crystal, I knew that I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The battle for the galaxy had reached its climax, and only time would tell if I would emerge victorious previously. Alex and Dr. Zara formed an uneasy alliance to harness the power of the ancient technology and bring peace to the galaxy. But as they delved deeper into the heart of the ancient ship, they triggered a trap that threatened to destroy the fabric of reality. With the prophecy unfolding, Alex stood at the precipice of destiny, grasping the crystal of pure energy that held the key to the galaxy's salvation. As the crystal's power surged through me, I felt the ancient ship's energy coursing through my veins like liquid fire. Dr. Zara's eyes locked onto mine, her gaze filled with a mixture of awe and trepidation. The air was heavy with anticipation, the fate of the galaxy hanging precariously in the balance. Suddenly, the chamber was bathed in an intense, blinding light. I stumbled backward, shielding my eyes from the intensity of the energy. When I opened them again, I saw Dr. Zara standing before me, her eyes aglow with an otherworldly power. "Alex, I've accessed the ancient ship systems," she declared, her voice resonating with an unnatural authority. "I can feel the pulse of the galaxy, the rhythm of its very existence. We can reset the cosmos, restore balance to the universe." Her words trailed off as the chamber began to shudder, the ancient ship's structure groaning under the strain of its own power. I felt the fabric of reality beginning to unravel, the very fabric of space-time tearing apart at the seams. "No, Dr. Zara, stop," I shouted, my voice echoing off the walls. "You're going to destroy the galaxy." Dr. Zara's eyes flashed with defiance, her face set in a determined mask. "I'm not destroying the galaxy, Alex. I'm remaking it, and you're going to help me." With those words, she raised her hand, and a blast of energy sent me flying across the chamber. I struggled to regain my footing, my mind reeling with the implications of Dr. Zara's betrayal. As I stumbled to my feet, I saw Dr. Zara standing before the heart of the ship, her eyes blazing with an unholy power. The ancient ship's energy coursing through her veins, she had become a force beyond containment, a rogue agent bent on reshaping the galaxy in her own image. With a surge of determination, I charged forward, my blade flashing in the flickering light of the consoles. It was time to stop Dr. Zara, to restore balance to the galaxy before it was too late. But as I approached her, I felt the weight of the prophecy bearing down on me, the fate of the galaxy hanging precariously in the balance. Could I truly stop Dr. Zara, or would she prove to be the architect of the galaxy's downfall? The battle for the galaxy had reached its climax, and only time would tell if I would emerge victorious previously. Alex and Dr. Zara's alliance turned sour as they delved deeper into the ancient ship's heart, triggering a trap that threatened reality itself. With the crystal's power coursing through him, Alex must stop Dr. Zara from reshaping the galaxy in her image. As I clashed blades with Dr. Zara, the chamber around us dissolved into chaos. Consoles exploded, showering sparks everywhere, and the air was thick with the acrid smell of burning circuits. The ancient ship's energy pulsed through her, making her a formidable foe, but I refused to back down. The prophecy's weight bore down on me, and I knew I had to restore balance to the galaxy. In a blur of motion, Dr. Zara struck, her blade slicing through the air mere inches from my face. I parried the attack, our blades clashing in a shower of sparks. The force of her blow sent me stumbling back, but I recovered quickly, fueled by determination and a hint of desperation. Just as I thought I had the upper hand, Dr. Zara unleashed a blast of energy that sent me flying across the room once more. I crashed into a console, the impact driving the air from my lungs. As I struggled to rise, I saw Dr. Zara standing before the heart of the ship, her eyes blazing with an unholy power. In a last-ditch effort, I remembered the ancient blueprints we'd discovered on Nexar. The diagrams had hinted at a way to harness the ship's energy, to bend it to our will. With a deep breath, I focused my thoughts, calling upon the knowledge and power that lay within me. The air around me began to shimmer, as if the very fabric of reality was bending to my will. Dr. Zara's eyes narrowed, sensing the shift in power. I took advantage of the momentary distraction, summoning every last ounce of strength to deliver a decisive blow. My blade sliced through the air, imbued with the power of the ancient technology. Dr. Zara raised her own blade to defend herself, but this time I was the one who held the upper hand. Our blades clashed, the force of the impact sending shockwaves through the chamber. In the end, it was Dr. Zara who stumbled back, her eyes wide with shock and her blade slipping from her grasp. The ancient ship's energy, once coursing through her veins, now faltered, its power waning. As the chamber returned to an uneasy silence, I stood panting, my blade still trembling with the force of our final clash. Dr. Zara's eyes locked onto mine, a mixture of defeat and determination etched on her face. "It's not over," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the whine of the ship's systems. "The prophecy will still be fulfilled. Ya'll see to it, Alex. Ya'll bring balance to the galaxy no matter the cost." With those enigmatic words, Dr. Zara vanished, leaving me standing alone in the heart of the ancient ship. The chamber's walls still pulsed with energy, but it was no longer the frantic, chaotic power that had threatened to destroy the galaxy. As I caught my breath, I realized that the prophecy still hung in the balance. Dr. Zara's defeat had bought us time, but the true challenge lay ahead. I had to find a way to harness the ancient technology, to restore balance to the galaxy and bring peace to the scattered remnants of civilization. The journey was far from over. In fact, it was only just beginning previously. As I stood victorious but exhausted in the heart of the ancient ship, the weight of the prophecy still loomed large, and I knew that the journey to restore balance to the galaxy was far from over. Dr. Zara's cryptic words echoed in my mind, a constant reminder that the fate of the galaxy rested on my shoulders. With a deep breath, I refocused my thoughts, turning my attention to the task at hand. The ancient blueprints, the knowledge gleaned from Nexar, and Echo's guidance would be crucial in unlocking the secrets of the ancient technology. I knew that I had to gather my team and set out to find the last piece of the puzzle, the planet-scale device capable of rebooting the galaxy's failing ecosystem. As I emerged from the ancient ship, I was greeted by the anxious faces of my team. Lyrian, Dr. Alara, and the others stood by, their eyes filled with a mix of concern and determination. I knew that I had to rally them, to prepare them for the final push. "We're close," I told them, my voice firm and resolute. "We have the blueprints, and with Echo's help, we can unlock the secrets of the ancient technology. We need to find that device and get it online. It's the only way to restore balance to the galaxy." Lyrian stepped forward, his eyes burning with intensity. "I'm with you, Alex. Whatever it takes, we'll get it done." Dr. Alara nodded, her eyes shining with determination. "We've come too far to turn back now. Let's do this." With my team behind me, I set out to scour the galaxy, following the cryptic clues and hints that would lead us to the device. We traversed treacherous landscapes, braved hostile alien species, and overcoming treacherous rival treasure hunters. Echo's guidance proved invaluable as we navigated the labyrinthine paths that wound through the ancient ruins. At last, after weeks of searching, we found it, the planet-scale device, hidden deep within the heart of a long-abandoned ancient city. The air was thick with anticipation as we approached the device, our hearts pounding in unison. "This is it," I whispered, my eyes locked on the device. "This is the moment of truth." With Echo's guidance, we worked tirelessly to activate the device. The ancient technology hummed to life, its power coursing through the planet's core. The air began to shimmer as if reality itself was bending to our will. And then, in a burst of light and energy, the device roared to life. The galaxy's failing ecosystem began to heal, the wounds of centuries slowly closing. The stars shone brighter, their light illuminating the dark expanse of space. As we stood on the threshold of a new era, I felt a sense of pride and purpose. I had done it. I had fulfilled the prophecy, and in doing so had become a transformed leader poised to forge a brighter future. The journey was over, but a new chapter had just begun. The galaxy, once on the brink of collapse, was reborn. The scattered remnants of civilization would rally behind us, inspired by the beacon of hope that we had ignited. As I looked out upon the stars, I knew that there would be new challenges, new trials to face. But I was ready. I had grown, evolved, and emerged as a hero. The prophecy had been fulfilled, and I had become the unifying force that the galaxy needed. Epilogue. Years passed, and the galaxy flourished. The ancient ruins, once shrouded in mystery, were now revered as sacred artifacts. The planet-scale device, now known as the heart of the galaxy, pulsed with energy, its power sustaining the delicate balance of the cosmos. As I stood on the edge of a new frontier, I gazed out upon the stars, my heart filled with a sense of wonder. The prophecy had been fulfilled, but I knew that there were still worlds to explore, civilizations to discover, and mysteries to unravel. The journey was far from over. In fact, it was only just beginning.